Hey there, folks. I'm Mysterious JG. Welcome back to Let's Play Red Dead Redemption 2. Starting a new play session. So interestingly, that means the last video was the end of a play session, and it actually went public, and the handful of comments that it received are fairly fresh in my mind. So going into this, I'm thinking about somebody whose username I'd never seen pop up in the comments section before, so I don't know if they're just wandered by and caught this video and don't usually watch, or if they were kind of lurking, but they were complaining that I was complaining too much. So, I could reach back and complain that they complained that I complained, and we can go into a vicious, endless cycle of complaint. But it did cause me to wonder, well, why am I complaining so much about the game at this point? And at the end of the day, it's because the fucking writing at this particular point in the game has gotten terrible. And it's just, they decided they really wanted to have a whole sequence. Let's do something about the oppression of people in the Caribbean. And there's just no good reason that our story, as it's structured, would have brought us here. So, I was thinking about how would you do a better job of telling the story if you really wanted to get, I can't remember if Marston's here, but Dutch and Micah and Arthur Morgan are all here. And and it's like, well, so I was complaining that we get on a boat and the captain of the vessel is mentioned and that we bribe him, and the captain of the vessel and the crew they're not characters. We just hear about them. It's just like we get on a boat and then time passes and we pop up on an island after a shipwreck, and it just seems so convenient and trite. So I'm wondering to myself, well, okay, so what's my complaint here? Like, would I prefer that we spend a whole lot of time getting to know these characters on the boat that aren't going to matter? No. If they did a whole bunch of cinematics of us on a boat doing character-revealing dialogue, would I be complaining that there was no game being played? Probably. Would I be upset if they had a whole series of missions where it's like, okay, now do this quick time event minigame in order to assist with the rigging on the boat? Yeah, I'd probably be complaining about all that. So the question is, well, what is the right way to get Arthur and his friends into the Caribbean for presumably one or two missions, and then we'll be back in free range in the Old West? And the answer is there isn't a good way to do it because it doesn't make sense. At the end of the day, my big realization is, why am I complaining about all the things that are wrong with the story? Well, it's twofold. A, it's because the game's story gets so much praise. I wouldn't complain this hard, like if I just picked up I don't play the Call of Duty games particularly, but if I picked up a Call of Duty game where there was a story mode, but mostly it's about multiplayer, I probably wouldn't kvetch that much about the story, unless I was just making fun of it for fun, like, me and Bobo playing Army of Two. So I guess I'm complaining because I expect Rockstar to do pretty damn good, and I keep hearing about how great the story is in this game. But it's causing me to think about a lot of things about interactive fiction and how to do it right, because going to an extreme of having lots of characters and dialogue isn't necessarily the answer to having a good story. I guess that's what I'm getting at. Saw something on The Onion recently that amused me, where it was like, game with 10,000 hours of dialogue and 500 divergent side quests attacked for having oh god, I can't remember the exact wording, but it was really good. They were making fun of people like me bitching about the writing in games, and it was like, oh, they were complaining that the writing was trite and uninspired or flat in a game with 10,000 hours of dialogue. And they've got a point. I can't get past the idea that somebody really thought we should do a mission in the Caribbean. So they're just like, let's just get into the Caribbean the fastest way possible. Gloss it over with the minimum amount of dialogue possible. Something super essential to Arthur Morgan's character may happen while we're here, but even if it does. But at least the fact that we're going around with Chewbacca face finally kind of makes sense now that we're shipwrecked. He doesn't have access to shaving supplies, so it makes sense that I've had him looking like a homeless person for the entire game. No offense to any homeless people who are somehow watching this, despite being homeless. So, we have free roam, but it's a very small area, and I didn't spoil any great details for myself, but I did look and just to see, hey, is there anything missable that you really need? And the answer is no. There are animals that you can only encounter in this area of the game. We will eventually be going back to the Old West. There's no, like, you can't get 100% completion because there's a gun that you need or a side quest you have to do here. There's nothing like that. So we can play through the game without being worried about that. And at this point, we were kidnapped by evil white people who are basically going to force us into slavery, it seems like. We were rescued by some non-white people who were former slaves. All that makes sense. I'm not saying it doesn't. Well, I mean, it's kind of convenient that on our way to being oppressed, we were rescued. So, again, story's being super efficient. We didn't waste a whole lot of time with them being in captivity. If this was a book, they would have spent some time in captivity. It's a game, so there's like, well, there's no... Unless we wanted to play, like, you know, slave labor simulator and have them do QuickTime event games in order to, you know, harvest sugar. It's makes sense that we didn't spend a lot of game time there, but yeah, like friendly people showed up to help us, but they gave us our own camp separate from theirs, immediately gave us weapons without finding out whether we were more or less trustworthy than the people they rescued us from. And now we can go find ways to help them. There's nothing wrong with telling this story. You could have an entire game based on this if you wanted to. I don't know how well that would sell. Rockstar presents Caribbean Revolt. That might draw more comment. There might be more people writing angry articles about the politics of it. I guess they figured that the IGN reviewers didn't get this many hours into RDR2 before they wrote up their reviews giving it 9.8 out of 10. Or whatever. So somewhere around here, somebody's going to give me a mission. Or else I don't know what we're doing anymore. Yeah, I don't know why I'm in this, Oh, there we go. Oh, looks like a hanging corpse is gonna give me a mission.
Shit, that don't look good.
You don't have to change the setting to the Caribbean to display lynching if that's a thing you wanted to do in the game. Oh, oops. I just got shot by a dart from a native, so... Okay. Autosave, now that I've been captured by the natives. Savagery unleashed.
¿Quién eres? Pregunté quién eres. No sé quién eres. ¿Quién eres? ¿Quién eres? Tenemos un huevado aquí, ¿eh? Un huevado. Me voy a despertar, ¿eh? ¿Quién eres? ¿Quién eres?
I guess it's nice they're translating, but another one of those situations where if Arthur Morgan doesn't speak Spanish, maybe they shouldn't be translating. Complain.
Where are you from? Where are you from? I'm asking you.
Well, I'm not from around here. I'm from the Old West, but the writers decided they wanted me to be in the Caribbean.
What are you doing here? Come on. I'm an American.
I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. What? Why would you bust that out? They might know who Leviticus Cornwall is, and they might not like him at all. I think we're supposed to use these bricks, I would imagine. I imagine I'm supposed to get to the bricks. Okay, quick time events. Are you going to continue to give me instructions? Can't I negotiate with him? Oh, I got a dead eye or something out of that.
I don't know. Maybe there's still time to get to the other workers.
Oye, I think I hear voices coming
Hold
from
on,
the
the
other
guy's been
ruins down
unarmed.
there. Let's
Sorry.
sneak down and take a look.
Which way?
I'll
Master
show you.
Miller.
Baptiste, you don't look good. You should rest here.
Okay. You'll need this.
Sorry, that's not funny.
Go. Go.
But I had a gun. Oh, well.
Follow me. Stay close behind me. I know a way we can sneak
So
around.
apparently the
Keep quiet. Don't kill.
the
If they catch us, they'll murder the workers for sure.
the bricks had nothing to do with my escape, by the way. So they just did a really piss poor job of tying me up. Don't kill anyone.
Hide. Over there.
Te voy a decir una cosa. Mi abuelo siempre dijo que la Guarma era la isla de la que Dios se había olvidado.
The island that God forgot to make awesome.
Entiendo a lo que
Wait,
se refería. No hay nada aquí. Hay que regresar. Tan solo 3 meses más.
my expert Spanish is telling me he has 3 months before he goes.
Okay. They've moved. Come on. Keep close behind me.
Once again, the terrible stealth mechanics of this game are explored.
Out of the way.
Well, why are you yelling?
Follow me.
The guards are... We've got to be quiet!
Another one. Hide. Quick. Okay. Follow me. Keep quiet.
But I didn't get to hear what they were talking about.
Out.
So we're just guarding... We're just walking around the outside of this place.
Se le pone tieso el petito. 2 more ahead. Take cover on the other side of this door.
I'll tell you exactly where to keep cover so that it counts for the mission. Los Diablo? Dos Diablos? The finest piece of horse flesh? Wait till I give you the signal. That's when the plot wants you to move.
¿Qué tal va todo para allá?
Ya casi acabo. ¿Saben? Por mucho que disfruto viendo un socialista colgando, ahorcar es un trabajo tedioso, ¿ah? Toma demasiado tiempo.
Well, it really looks like they should be detecting my friend there.
A ver cómo sigan los prisioneros. A ver si el gringo ya abrió la boca.
Claro que abrió la boca.
Where did he go? Did he climb?
Siempre lo hacen.
Oh, well, okay. I guess I was supposed to be following him. I thought I was supposed to park there and listen to plot-revealing dialogue. Well, so much for my gold accomplishment of this mission. Making fun of how lame it is that I'm just going exactly where this guy tells me at all times. Hey, watch it. You need to be quiet,
Ya
friend.
casi acabo. ¿Saben? Por mucho que disfruto viendo un socialista colgando,
¡Un prisionero escapado!
Well, apparently I wasn't supposed to cross there. Don't complain about the stealth mechanics if you can't actually handle them, JG. The stealth mechanics are kind of like... It's not a game that's going to reward a bunch of neat exploration. There aren't cool ways to distract guards Metal Gear
¿Qué tal
styles.
va todo para allá?
I blame Metal Gear for this. Metal Gear made it so all of these games feel they need to have some vague stealth mechanic.
disfruto viendo un socialista colgando.
Okay, I get it. There's a little tunnel here. It seemed like a guy was staring right at him, but there was a wall between them.
Toma demasiado tiempo.
Estás enfermo. Toca ver
You're a
cómo sigan
sick
los prisioneros.
motherfucker.
A ver si el gringo ya abrió la boca.
Claro que abrió la boca. Siempre lo hacen.
So the point was, I stopped to pay attention to what the guards were talking about to try to get some sense of the story. And I'm just supposed to be following this guy. There's really no other thing you're supposed to be doing but following this guy. It's like, I've escaped from this place and been recaptured and escaped again dozens of times. I know exactly where to go.
Let's go.
Oh, I gotta kill Hangman Page? Oh, oops.
Get down from there. Shoot the ropes.
Because I suck at shooting the ropes, so... You do have a time limit, so I know it felt like a waste of Deadeye, but... Good thing those guards suddenly stopped being able to hear.
They're coming from behind us.
Do we want to maybe tie these guys? No. Okay. Intruders. So it's important that we didn't get detected until now. That one guy right in the head. It's like putting a bunch of rounds into that statue. Somebody was making fun of me for doing that before. The kooky music. What the? No. What? Why am I not shooting at this guy? I mean, this guy. Can I collect their ammo? No? Okay.
Vengan, hermanos. Estarán bien. Este gringo valiente le salvó la vida.
Thank you, my friend.
Gringo doesn't mean American, does it? I thought it just meant white guy.
We owe you our lives.
Yes. Thank you.
My pleasure. This place.
I hate these chairs!
We miss home.
Take care, my friend.
Hercule is getting a boat lined up to get you and your men out of
Hercule? You
here.
mean the
Just meet him at
dubbed
Cinco
version
Torres.
of Mr.
We'll be
Satan?
there.
Good, good. Here,
Good.
this is for you.
Thanks.
It's not much, but it's the least we can do.
And if you didn't get it here, you wouldn't be able to get 100%. I guess that was just money. We got 450 bucks. Isn't that nice? And we teleport right back to camp, so I never get to loot those guys. What is going on? Oh. So, I didn't release all the workers within 4 seconds. I didn't complete within 5 minutes and 40. I didn't get it. I basically just sucked. So that's fine. Whatever. I don't even care. So yeah, for all my bitching about the game's story, it is because the writing and story is generally good. So when it gets to be not like, you know, the end of Red Dead Redemption is one of my favorite. The whole ending sequence, the whole setup of giving you a bunch of missions to sort of take you back to the tutorial and let you teach your son some, like, spoilers for that game if you've never played it, I suppose. That whole ending, the last, like, 20 or 15% of so of Red Dead Redemption is some of my favorite stuff in the history of gaming. That's why when its sequel, which is generally also excellent, doesn't do well. Yeah. I'm really taking that comment to heart. Jeez. But no, I was thinking about it a little bit myself. I'm like, why am I so upset when this game starts to be stupid? Because this game shouldn't be stupid. Final Fantasy 13-2 starts having stupid shit happen in the plot. I'm like, that's part of why I love this game. It's so silly. This one, like, eh. How are we doing for ammo, though? Because, oh.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Hello. Where's Micah? I was trying to go talk to Micah. You know, our good friend. Nicest guy who ever lived, Micah. Yeah, I'll restore my corn. It's just a little, restore my cores, a little corned beef there. And rum. It was definitely important to drink some rum right now. We're on a quasi-deserted island. It's not really a deserted island. We thought it was initially. We're on an island. We're not sure exactly where to go to get fresh water. It's important to drink some alcohol. Alcohol keeps you hydrated. Remember that, folks. It's an important safety tip. If you can't find fresh water, Drink plenty of alcohol. And if you can't find alcohol, drink lots of salt water. That's the best thing you could do if you're in a situation where you're in danger of dehydrating. That's not actually good advice in those circumstances. I'm kind of joking. Alright, so we're wanted dead or alive all over the island. I'm not clear on whether there's any point in exploring the island. I really don't feel like there is. It would definitely be a good idea to set up a save game in a different slot in case I ever feel like coming back and playing around. I do not believe that the open world free roam mode when we get back, because this game has open world free roam after you finish the main story. I'm not promising we're going to be playing as Arthur. They might pull a trick like they did in the first game where you know, John Marston is your story character and then you play as his son in the post game. They may do something like that. But the post-game free roam, I do not believe we will be able to come back here. So, it may be in our best interest to get whatever enjoyment we're going to get out of this now. And the, yeah, we don't... I'm trying to figure out what is our ammo capacity on the weapon, but I can't actually do a whole lot with the weapon. I can fall down a lot. Oh, here we go. Now suddenly I can check the weapon. I'm not sure. Why I was hitting R1 before. Why couldn't I? Whatever. Suddenly I'm going to work with a cover mechanic now that I'm not in a mission where I'm supposed to be hiding. But all this stuff for how do you win the mission was all rush through the hiding sequence, rush through the sequence as fast as possible, and get headshots, which I failed to do. See, those are birds that I could apparently catch, and or hunt and get bonuses. Oh, I was actually going to try to get one. Anyway. Yeah, see, I should be studying these birds. At some point I have to figure out, am I going to do all these side quests that involve, like, collecting dinosaur bones and, whatever ingredients, Frenchy Fancy Pants Man wanted us to get? I don't know if he's supposed to do French, but Frenchie's a real name, you know. Dino Bravo's manager was named Frenchie Martin, so don't you tell me Frenchie isn't a real name that people have. How dare you question the validity of the name Frenchie Martin? Well, let's go catch up with one of this island's most innovative new chefs, Dutch.
Hey!
Why'd you sneak up from down there, man?
So, what's the plan? Well, I found the cave Hercule spoke of, and also...
Oh, it's Hercule. That's a pretty cool name.
She's up ahead. I think we can trust her. Follow me. The entrance is along here. Just watch.
Make sure to shimmy, and then shake. Thank you, game, for instructing me on how to shimmy.
So, what do we do when we get Javier?
Well...
Make sure he doesn't die, because that would cause a temporal rift.
Dad, set sail for the one place ain't nobody gonna be expecting us.
The moon.
Get everybody together and get ourselves back on course.
Where would that be?
I'm still trying to get to the South
Place
Pacific.
we just escaped from.
What?
You want to go back to Saint Denis?
If it was you got left, you'd want us to go back.
I'd want it, but I wouldn't expect it.
That's the point. Ain't no one gonna expect it.
It's
We
just
come
too
back from
trite.
the dead, gather everyone, and we leave before anyone realizes we've even resurrected.
Why would we go back?
An insect bite you or something? Because you gone, friend.
Why did we want to leave in the first? Well, we wanted to leave in the first
Look
place.
like what we are.
We were wanted,
Bunch
but
of desperados on the run. But with the women, A change of clothes? We're a choir, or a gang of pilgrims, or something.
But we need the women to become
Whatever you
pilgrims.
say. A bunch of penniless fugitives on some Caribbean dump, sneaking through caves while two of our best men got shot back home. How could I doubt you, Dutch? You got no idea, Arthur. No idea at all.
Of how
I will
crazy I'm
do
going to get before this is
whatever
over.
it takes for us to survive. I guess that's what I'm afraid of. Hold on. Why?
There might be some kind of animal in this cave that you got to hunt as a side mission.
Ay, estás tarde.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Buenos dias, señorita or senora.
Dinero, the money, the gold.
Aquí.
Oh, it's translating gold.
Dámelo.
Oh, no, mind. It's not translating. I'm an idiot.
Oh,
I got
it's
subtitles on.
genuine, you old hag.
Genuine is English for genuine.
Vamos. Rápido.
Now that gold right there, this is the last bit of gold I have in my pocket from the bank. The rest of it is at the bottom of the sea. Exactly.
We're in Blackwater. We might go there eventually.
Síganme y manténganse cerca.
Okay, well, we got another mission where we follow an NPC.
Izquierda.
You know, wasn't Fusar one of the fellers Bronte pointed out to us at the party in Saint Denis?
Yeah. You're right. I knew I'd heard that name before.
He seems like good people.
So I met up with Leon. That situation with the workers is dealt with.
Oh, good.
Captured, tied up, beaten.
Good. We
or
captured him
arrested.
alive.
No, that was me. Are you sure this Hercule fellers ain't just using us?
Almost certainly. But he's the best chance we have right now. of
Yeah,
getting
he's
out of
using
this
us for
place.
something good. I mean, what more could you ask for? Anyway, folks, that's going to be it for this video. When we come back next time, we will continue following an NPC around. And eventually, someone will shoot at us. And if I get enough headshots, maybe I won't get bronze. Mysterious JG, thanks for watching. Buenos noches, everybody. Auf Wiedersehen, schmucks.